imagine Xeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Xeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idas? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well, it's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Yolkus. You've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
Let's see the men who would attempt to replace you.
Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon, step forward. These 3 are equal in rank and seniority. I believe all 3 could do the job.
Lieutenant Myron, make your claim.
My name is Myron. I come from a family of shepherds. For 3 years, I've led the Night Watch. Far too many died in the attack. It must not happen again. The guard could not survive another blow.
Let's hear how you would defend the palace, Myron.
Pull back the guard to the palace's living quarters, where the most people are. Important officials, yourself, Master Pelias, should have bodyguards at all times.
What do you think of your companions?
Dedicated, but reckless. In times such as these, we must be cautious.
Lieutenant Ivarius, speak your case.
I am Ivarius, son of a farmer from the plains. I've known no other captain than Idas. If chosen, I will strive to lead as he does. Honor and sacrifice will be the hallmark of your guard.
Tell me, Ivarius, how would you defend the palace?
I would do as Idas did. Spread the guard throughout to spot any attack as soon as possible.
What do you think of your fellow lieutenants?
Both are dedicated in their own way. I'll speak no ill of them.
Lieutenant Platon, speak.
Platon, born a fisherman, but destined to be captain. King Jason, your guards have grown complacent. It's time to make a clean start, break them down, and build them up again. Instill discipline.
Discipline without strategy only goes so far, Platon. How would you defend the palace?
To start, I'd have the guards off their asses and out scouring the island for the next threat. Those that must be here should be stationed in the royal court, the natural defensive point.
What do you think of your companions?
They mean well, I suppose, but they don't have the balls to do what must be done. No offense.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
From what I know, each of these men is capable. My counsel is to pick one whom the men respect, and also fear. Platon fits that description.
Lieutenant Avarius, speak your case.
We've suffered a terrible attack, but we must not overreact. The guard doesn't need to be remade, just restored to what it was.
Lieutenant Myron, make your claim.
These are dangerous times. We must expect further attacks and begin planning now.
Lieutenant Platon, speak.
What more can I say? The guard is weak. With me as their captain, they will be strong.
I've made my decision.
Who will it be then?
Lieutenant Myron, I name you Captain of the Guard. Make the safety of our people your first priority. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
Thank you. Under my watch, we'll be prepared for any threat.
All three of you, I am grateful the Guard has men of your quality. Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Xeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His...
Yes.
As you... He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the
Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the kingdom of Iolcus. Here did Iolcum.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Sir, one of the villagers came by. Says this warrior in the village had a witch with him.
We'll see about that.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order, all of these are noble things.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would observe the marks the enemy soldier had made to interpret their exact intent. Only then would I decide my next course of action.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Of what shall we speak of next?
Let's speak of my fellow men.
You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I'd recognize that I benefit at his expense. He serves as a buffer between my sheep and the wolves. I would suggest that we work together to solve the problem.
I feel the sway of the constellation Libra, the scales, in your answer. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would allow my friend to spend only what was needed to acquire the medicine. Then, I would anonymously return the rest.
Here I sense the stars of the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor, in your response. Now we have only the matter of family to discuss. Two suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I would give my blessing to whomever my daughter chooses as her husband. I would trust in her judgment and support her happiness.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
In fulfilling your duties, you believe that reason and sound thinking must be the basis of all decisions. In society, the common good is the highest goal. You believe people should work together to solve their collective problems. Friends should help each other. If your friend should stray from virtue, you believe it's your obligation to bring him back. You would honor your family, and yet you would treat a stranger with equal respect and hospitality. Your dominant constellation is Pygmalion, the sculptor. Wherever your path leads, you will walk nobly, and you will learn from your journey. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. I must be going.
Can we just look at Hercules'
Be well.
legs and hands?
Apollo bless you.
Take a shower with us.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alcime show you?
Alcime? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idas.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given.
Here was born Amphinome, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king, and so she became Queen of Iolcus. My mother. A fine queen indeed.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
You'll lose your voice shouting like that, Xeno.
My righteous anger will not be silenced by the likes of you! Thessaloniki will be satisfied! The memory of my brother demands it!
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough! No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute! Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessaloniki. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
My guards fought valiantly to save all those who could be saved. Your brother's death was a tragedy, and I grieve his passing. But I will not compound that tragedy by paying you off and sending innocent girls to you.
That's tell him, right. King Jason. I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
You disgrace your brother's memory with this display.
The lure of tribute brought him here. He doesn't care about his brother's memory.
Do I not? You will see how much his honor means to me. Consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it!
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake. Boo!
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Xeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them!
dog!
Take your brother home, Xeno.
I won't forget this, Jason.
Go, now, before I change my mind.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what's she look like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Yolkin woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat. That's enough of you.
Yanula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Xeno man was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked, like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said, wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
Now you're sure she ran off toward the crypt?
That's the way she was headed, no doubt about it.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to. Here landed King Trion's spear, humbling the Athenian Colosseum. Drunk from the king's feast, the famed warrior boasted that no yoken man could match his thrill. For the honor of his kingdom, King Trion took up his challenge. Great Athena lent Trion her skill, and he unleashed a throw so mighty that boastful Polyside was stricken mute with shame.
Thank you for dealing with that obnoxious man. The nerve to demand such tribute.
He was nothing like his brother. Let us remember to mourn for Menander.
That we can do. There's been a lot of mourning here of late.
Our neighbor Agatha lost her husband in the attack. He was a servant in the palace. Poor Agatha and her son Sinon. That boy's taking it very hard.
Farewell. Hopefully there won't be any further distractions here.
Look, heroes. It's the king.
What could he be doing here?
Oh, no. Please, no. Help us. Is she...
I'm sorry. Your daughter was seriously wounded, but she is mending.
Oh, Hera, help me. This news will be the death of me.
Steady, wife. He said she's recovering.
When can we see her?
Before I set sail, I'll leave instructions for her to come visit you.